These are wild, crazy times, dangerous times. We're at the shifting of the way human experience occurred from the time humans walked the earth up until now. There's been a different way of seeing the world, a new energetic happening for humanity. We must make it to this next shift to be able to experience what more is calling us. To do that, we need different strategies, how we focus our attention, how we're present in our bodies with one another, and we experience the oneness of all of us. Right now, we are all experiencing that our systems are failing. The economic, the political, the social, the environmental, our legal, our healthcare, education, all these systems that supported our ability to see the world with the objective we had, with the objective reality we had, are falling apart. We all must have the aspect of the spiritual enlightened being while present in the world. The spiritual master, perhaps the Obi-Wan Kenobi, who sees the force in everything. I'm going to share with you in these few minutes where we're at, where we must be, and the one exercise that when you do this, it allows you to start developing more of the experience of the more awakened spiritual being here in the world, where we can be with what's happening and bring a new contagion to the world of the new world it's going to be. It's waiting for us. The immune system is that system that helps adapt you to the environment. It's also part of the emotional system. 50% of the immune system is the gut response of that. The white blood cells associated with inflammation and infection carry every one of the chemicals of the emotion. It's not about how you're feeling. How do you feel about how you're feeling that determines our physiology? We must, at this particular time of contagion, when we all have a time out, say what is important and focus on the body's ability to heal. To do this, you must experience more than think. You must feel and allow the energy of the body to create. Most of the things we have to deal with occur below the level of thinking mind and above the level of the thinking mind. This is a time for us to feel and really experience that I feel so disconnected from everything that's been. It seems like nothing works. It seems like it's never going to end. I feel so helpless without trying to understand it, without trying to make it go away. Being with it, which is a spiritual master's aspect of being with it. To do that, we must be with the physiology that heals, the physiology that enlivens us. You see, it is not the mind over body. The body and mind are one. Viruses are every place. We're made of viruses. It's said that when our cells break down, they give off viruses. What's interesting is this. The immune system was in the body, the spine. It is in the cells of your body. It's the white blood cells. Listen to this. It's been known that people get common colds more when they're more stressed. When researchers take the chemicals, the proteins, the chemicals of emotion that are associated with being happier, those chemicals occupy the same binding spots on a cell, the same parking spots as the cold virus. And the cold virus has a difficult time attaching to the cell. Dr. Candace Pert and Michael Ruff did research looking at people with HIV virus and found that when that was associated with people who had AIDS, the men who developed and found the virus, that didn't cause it, but it's associated with it. When people have AIDS, they more often have the experience of being separate from the world, feeling alone, not being part of the community. When they take the proteins associated with that and add it to the cell to mix, the HIV virus had difficulty attaching. Higher level emotions regulate the cell differently than lower emotions. It's important to have fear when a life is in jeopardy. it's important to have hope also, and joy. What I am suggesting is the type and amount of emotions you express change the receptivity of the membrane to all things, emotions, and also viruses. How do we improve the ability of our body to adapt to these crazy times? How do we upgrade our physiology and human physiology so we can see the magic that's here, that we must all be part of, that's emerging? What the virus hopefully is teaching us is they're all interconnected. If you could be with somebody who visited from Australia, or visited from Italy, or from Germany, and in the moment you get ill, associate with that person, what if in a moment, without even knowing a person, you could bring an energy to the space that's contagious, that suddenly they wake up, they heal, and they could shine the light of the miracles that are already here. To do this, we have to be present with the energy of the spiritual master in our daily life. All of our sufferings associated with believing in one objective reality. And when our experience doesn't match that reality, we have stress, we become ill, we fight our body, we fight reality. There are many variations on reality that we can experience. On a great day, nothing messes you up. On a bad day, everything messes you up. In the middle of that is your immune system. One more piece of this. When we're in fight or flight, looking to protect ourselves, our sympathetic nervous system with the adrenaline helps us build up tension, fight, protect ourselves. When it does it, the immune system shuts down. When we're in fear and worry, the immune system shuts down. We have the parasympathetic nervous system, which job is to actually regulate the entire immune response, the allergic response. That's what's called the vagus nerve, which exits in the upper neck and is also affects the front of our body. And our digestion, we chill out. We get into the state of an enlightened spiritual master at times. Our sympathetic system drops, and now we could be with what is. How do we enhance that system that allows us to have being with itness, where our circumstance doesn't determine our reality? The loss of money in the market doesn't determine your physiology. Where you're living doesn't affect the physiology. Being in your house instead of at work doesn't affect your physiology. You see, once you realize there's more than one observer observing the world, suddenly the change in your circumstance will not dominate your physiology, weaken your immune system, and suddenly even the deepest suffering could bring moments of light or joy on yourself and others. To do this, we must have a means of having this oneness. This is the one exercise that could save your life. It will change the space between you and others. It'll allow you to have some of the aspects of the spiritual master. It'll allow you to have multiple perspectives at once, which engages the higher brain and allows us at that moment to come up with new possibilities and start shining light on what is darkness for ourselves and others, and helps us to enhance our ability to heal, to be with, and to help be part of what the world is bringing forth. We need to upgrade now and quickly. We all have the gift now of a time out. Dolphins during this time out are reappearing in Venice. Pollution is reducing around the world. People are able to now be with people they would not be with the family, and say what's really important. What's important is the energy of the universe that organizes us. Our thoughts, our emotions do not regulate what we think or feel is important. The amount of energy in our body does. And connecting to the force of creation. I'm going to show you the one exercise you could do that may save your life. It's first aid in all experiences. People are concerned about the respiratory system. Research showed that many people who have obstructive lung diseases, people have pneumonia, people have congestive heart failure, emphysema. Many of them have normal amount of oxygen in the blood supply. But what they found in research of thoracic surgery, is that many of these people, the receptors in the spine, the receptors in the ribs, don't believe you're breathing because the ribs are not expanding enough. Because as you expand the ribs more, the brain realizes you're getting more oxygen. It's not how you're feeling. It's how you feel about it. It's not what's happening. It's what you believe that regulates your immune system and your life. So we're going to put our hands like this, not like this. It's like a microscope. You have two lenses focusing on the body and focusing the space and the field around you. We're going to put in 3 positions. Position 1 is right in the upper ribs. Make sure you're not touching the throat. Your hand and elbows are straight. The second position is right under the ribs, right here. That's an important spot. This is where the diaphragm is. The diaphragm must move effectively up and down to allow your body to get breath in and out. That's essential. When we are in stress response, the diaphragm tightens up. This is another area. And the third is a little bit lower. It's really over your belly button, the umbilicus. Doesn't matter if you're out here or in here. These are 3 spots that also connect to the parasympathetic system. And as we connect with that, our body is able to start getting greater breath, greater movement, and more energy. You know when you're upset with someone, you tighten up. You don't want to synchronize the breath with them. Breath is always true. Movement is always true, and energy is always true. What if you in a moment could focus on breath, energy, and movement? At that one moment, your physiology changes, your higher brain wakes up, the stress hormones drop down, and you have new resourcefulness. So focus your attention under your hands, right here. Breathe in your nose and out your mouth. As you breathe, expand the ribs. Feel how far it can go. Watch what I do here. Feel as I take a breath in, how the ribs expand more and more and more and more. And as I let the breath out, I focus on the breath, breathing out the mouth, and I focus on the breath and the movement of my body going back to the spine, and feel the energy coming all the way in. And at a particular point on the breath out, automatically, there's a space, a zone you get into, a spiritual awakened zone where the parasympathetic system kicks in, and suddenly you have more resourcefulness. The mind no longer chatters. You're not concerned about circumstance because you're focused on a few different things. What is real? Right there is a place of peace. Find the peace in the middle of the stress. This takes practice. Some people may have to focus on the movement because that's easier first. Some the breath, some the energy. Then you come down to here, do the same thing. Breathe in your nose, out your mouth, and say, wow, it's a little tougher to breathe here. So move here. So I acknowledge sometimes it seems disconnected here. Sometimes I seem helpless. Sometimes it seems like nothing works. You must admit that, because by admitting that, in the humility, it opens you up to spirit. Breathe here, now here, open and out. Then you focus on the belly and expansion of the belly, up and back. Focus on breath, energy, and movement. When you focus on all 3 together, there's not enough room to worry about, is this right? Is this wrong? Am I ill? You're focusing now on allowing the organizing forces to heal, to organize you to a new level of reality. Practice is every day. What happens when the mind races? Will I have the virus? Will this happen? This shouldn't be. This is not happening. Why is this happening? What's happening with the money? All those things, they disappear in the moment. When you focus on the energy, breath, and motion, activate the parasympathetic nervous system, and in this moment, bring the peace to the people around you. Bring it to the world. We are all one. The first illusion called suffering, the first experience of the 12 stages of healing and extraordinary impact, is the experience of suffering. And this exercise helps us to suffer more effectively, which means recognize that we sometimes are disconnected. Sometimes we have the illusion of separateness. Sometimes seems like nothing works. Sometimes seems like nothing can end. And when you're with that, without the hunger to change it, to make it go away or be something different, then you effectively have suffered in a moment. And we don't have to have the pain. Our physiology reboots. And suddenly now, we're back into the life. Our circumstance does not rule our reality, and our reality is based upon truth, and we get the wisdom of truth in our healing, in our immune system, and our life. It could save your life. And with enough people doing this, we wake up beyond the illusion and recognize that things have not been working, but life can work. And I commit to what I'm moving to, a more beautiful life. Share this with people. Do this in math. Let's do this in math. When I mean math, multiply this. We must do the mathematics of oneness so that when you do this and focus on this, think of others. Think of others who need help. And somehow, some way, it affects us. Contagion is not just about a virus. Viruses express consciousness. Contagion is what we must do and realize we are going past all borders, all boundaries. And collectively, we bring contagion of the power of life to all of us. Thank you and God bless.